Hey, just a update video on what's going on. So the Mortal Kombat is currently living out here in the back room. Um, I I'm pretty sure I found a buyer for it. Um, I don't want to see it go because I love it so much, but unfortunately it is too big for my house. I need the money for a car or a potential new system. Preferably a car, that would be better. But yeah, we've got a potential buyer for this. It will be going interstate. Guy wants to freight it up from here in New South Wales up to Queensland. Good on him. Uh, I wouldn't do it. I'm usually broke and I don't have the money to transport stuff like this, but um, he's really keen on it. So yeah, it's all locked up, good to go. I've got the cable tied under the control panel, um, so the key's not lost in delivery. All he's going to do is pull up get rid of the Allen keys, well, the Allen bolts, and get his key and unlock it and plug it in, and it's good to go. Sort of. It still needs chassis work, but I'm sure it's going to go to a loving home. Anyway, taking its spot in here is the Challenger clone. I've been doing a fair bit of work. I have this screen put in. Blasphemy, I know. I'm going LCD. Don't kill me. Um, I really would like to put a CRT back in at some point, but I need to learn what I'm doing first. I'm not going to put a CRT directly in this thing. I don't know what I'm doing with the whole voltage thing. Anyway, so this shroud is just a template test piece to find out my sizing. Um, See, it doesn't go all the way to the top. I didn't have a big enough sheet, but it's going to help a lot with my measurements and all that. So that's pretty neat. I want to do it out of sheet metal, sheet steel, and up the top here, because I'm going to be putting Dragon Ball Z into this machine. I've got a marquee that I've photoshopped up that is looking really good. I'm just going to get it printed. Um, it's not the original one. I also need to get translations of the original control sheets. Do I have it here? No, I don't. Um, I'll go back to that in a minute and show you the control sheets that I have, because I got the Japanese version, but it'd be really good to have the English control sheets. This front door is going to go. It's going to be rebuilt. As you can see down here, it's got a big crack in it. That's not good. Especially since I need to cut a new hole for a coin mech. This is all going to come out. That bracket here is actually snapped down the bottom. But I do have a new control. I do have a new coin mech to go in. So this is an Oz $1. I've got the sticks out. The sticks that came out of this, I need to get rid of all the solder on it. The way it was set up before, all the micro switches were soldered to cables, and I pulled the harness apart. Here's the harness. I completely went through this and resoldered all the connections, tightened it all up. I upgraded the 5-volt line to keep the Namco system fed and happy. Without that, it doesn't like to boot up. The Chinese harnesses are really shit for the 5-volt line. They do not supply enough power, even for some of the older, some of the other jammer boards. They just does not supply enough in terms of 5-volt to power the thing. So if you ever pick up a Chinese harness, which I mean they're cheap. They're all over the place now. It's harder. It's getting really hard to get the excuse me. It's getting really hard to get a good harness, and if you do, it's going to cost you so much. Because I think everything's gone to what's it called? Um, Not jammer. Yes, it'll come back to me in a minute. Um, so yeah, a lot of jammers gone out the window. I mean, you still get jammer boards for the Pandora's box and all that stuff, but they run fine on the Chinese harness. But everything else is yeah, the other wiring. Anyway, so I'm gonna redo the front door. Put that coin back in. Down the bottom here says insert 20-cent, $1, $2 coins, which is not going to be correct. This is just going to run off standard $1 coins. So I've just done a test fit. I do have a. Where's my light gone? Here it is. Just to see what my spacing's like inside the cab. So with the Namco system, it takes up a lot of space in here. I've tried mounting it to the side, but got all these screws for the side of the cab here, which is going to block it. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to get get some more mounting brackets and stuff and put a shelf in, and put the Namco up the top and all my power supply and stuff down the bottom. This is the power supply I'm going to be using. It's just a cheap one. It does the job. I've got one of these in the arcade Topstar, so the little Chinese one that I've put videos up of mostly recently. That one is the one that came out of it. I don't trust it. I will test it at some point, but it's a Peter Cho. They're known to be crap, so I'm just going to replace that anyway. It's my power for my screen. I'll be putting a power board on the side, so that's going to be how I power everything. I've got a switch on the way. I do have another one, but the switch that I currently have, I need to do more cutouts, and there's a lot more messing around with it. So the other IEC, I think it's IEC, socket that I've got on the way is just going to screw in, so that's going to be excellent and trouble-free. Yeah, that's me power for my power supply. That's also going to be plugging into the power board. So I'm only going to be running 2 ports on the power board, so there's not much load on it. I might migrate this and make up a new cache box to fit in here. So yeah, that's pretty good. Anyway, so behind this shroud, the way I've just held my screen in is I've cut a hole out for the screen. It's held in up the top. I've got this so I can pull it out, which I can't at the moment because I've screwed it in. That's not going anywhere. But if we come around the back, I'll give you guys a look. Okay, so I've actually my light's going to stay up there. Yep. I'll put a screw in here. I've got some MDF, so I'm going to make a back door for that. Put a key in and need my light. All right, so I've got some cable clips, which I've used down here for my power for my screen. Keep everything nice and tidy. I'll go through and completely do proper cable management once I'm done. But as you can see, this is how I've got my screen in. Just held in with another strip across the top down there. Also, okay, so the good thing with this monitor, the stand wouldn't actually come off. It doesn't have any mounting screws or any point to mounting screws for a monitor bracket on the wall or swing arm bracket or whatever you want to call it. But the stand actually comes off, and down the bottom of the stand it had a single screw that would keep the stand mounted to the stem. So what I've done is I've made this bracket and it's got a hole down the bottom, and I reused the same screw. So all I need is that to be mounted in place, and these top strips stop it from moving altogether. So I can push on it, and it moves the whole cab. It's completely solid. It's not going to go anywhere. So yeah, I actually found this on the side of the road. The marquee light box is bolted in from the bottom, so I'm not going to pull that off now because it will take too long. But I'll see if you can see up here these two bolts. Those are what is holding the light box in place. And these cables here, the white ones come from the speakers, so it's your left and right channel, or positive, negative on the speaker. That's a single speaker. And the orange and black is the positive and ground for a halogen. Excuse me, a halogen light inside the light box, which I will be replacing. I'm just going to go with some LED strip lights in there, just to save changing globes and make things easy. So yeah, anyway, the bezel that I will be putting in here are going to be making out of sheet metal. I've got my Perspex down there. It's got a film over it, so it's all protected and nice. When I peel that off, it'll be clean. But I'll be making a sheet metal bezel, and hopefully up about, say, here, all the way across, I'll have a little shelf. And I'm going to pick up some of those cheap glass Dragon Balls, the set of 7 Dragon Balls that I'll be putting on the shelf all across here, and hopefully have an orange or white LED light. I'm going to paint the whole shroud black. Put my glass on. I've still got to get in here and paint all this wood. And put my glass on, put my lights in, get my marquee printed, and it'll look fantastic. But yeah, the sticks that came out of here that I've got to desolder and fix up, they were original Australian MCA sticks, and they are actually fantastic. Yes, I'll go out and see if I can find them. Actually, yeah. So this is the control sheets for Dragon Ball. See if I can do this one-handed. So for Dragon Ball Z, I've got the poster. I'm not going to pull it all out because it's going to be a pain to put back in, or a pain to unfold with one hand. So you got these sheets. They're in Japanese. I think there's 3 of them all up. But I'll put them across there. Full focus. There we go. Yeah, so I want to get some reproductions of these, of the English, because I know the English ones exist. I have seen them. Oh, sorry. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. And here's my sticks that I gotta clean up. MCA Australia. So I'm going to go through and desolder, swap out the micro switches, put some new stuff in. yeah. So that's the haps. That's what's going on. This thing still works fantastically. Oh, I've actually done the front door. Let me grab my light again. I have painted up. Everything's a mess. It's been a while since I've got it in here. That way. So I've painted the front door black. That's the one that I folded up and made from scratch, and it's working fantastically. I might actually paint that coin door black as well, because it doesn't match the white. You can't really see it here, but it's not the same white as the rest of the machine, so I might respray that black too, just to break it up. I mean, this machine has now been named Panda, so it's only fitting. This switch is a momentary switch with a key. I'll be putting that on the front of the blue machine in there, just as a free play switch. I don't like setting my machines to free play. I like to use a coin or hit a button. I like having the option to use a coin. So instead of having to constantly swap over to free play, I will have a momentary coin switch or momentary key switch in the front door. More than likely in the same place as this button, because I'm pretty sure that's what that button was for. That was more than likely set up as a coin button. So I'll be putting the key in there. So if I ever do decide to put this on a location, if this mechanical mech fails, because I don't like using electronic, I prefer to swap these bad boys out. If somebody says the machine ate my money, just walk over and turn the key and put some credits in. So anyway, yeah, that's what I've been up to. Just a quick update. It's not exactly quick, it's getting on to 18 minutes now. But I'll be updating again once this is complete and or running. I might do another video when it's running again. So yeah, that's it. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.